Hello and welcome to the Crafter's Toolbox. I have a great technique for you today, so let's not waste any time and get down to the tabletop and see what I have. This technique today is really focused on one thing, and that is how to successfully use the Cube Builder stencil from Altenew. And this is a card that I did with it. Super fun with the gold and the silver. Super dramatic too with the black and everything, but it can be all sorts of different things. So what you're going to want is a piece of nice smooth cardstock. I guess you really could use anything. This black from Lawn Fawn is not particularly smooth. It's a good cardstock, but it did take the ink well. So you just want some paper that's really going to take the ink well. And you're going to cut it to larger than what you need for your finished project, and tape it down onto a piece of cardboard or hardboard. And then take your stencil and just tack that down too. So top and bottom here. Of course, if you happen to catch my video on stenciling on glimmer paper, this is a great technique for that too. I think that would look really, really cool. I'm going to have to try it. I'm using my scrapbook.com stencil brushes and some Altenew inks. These are both from the same color quad. This is Volcano Lake and Lagoon, so these are kind of the two in the middle of that particular group. And I'm just going to load up my stencil brush and just do swipes. And I kind of angle this off so that I can swipe back and forth. And you just want to swipe it and you get in as much ink as you want. Of course, you could use a different tool if you aren't into the stencil brushes, or perhaps you want to get a darker hue in here more quickly. You can use the distress foams for the blending, the little blender tools, or you could use sponge daubers or just plain old sponges, anything you want. I wanted to go for a little softer look today, so I thought I would use these stencil brushes. Hey, this is a stencil after all. And you just keep going until you get in as much ink color as you want. Sometimes you want to go the other way because to get into these little crevices, you might need to go at the diagonal just to make sure you get in there. And even though it looks like you haven't got ink in there, you probably do, at least a little bit, but it'll keep that soft look. All right, so I've got the lighter color done. And let's take that off and see what it looks like, just so you can get an idea. So here's what that looks like. And you could leave this. This is really just a cool diamond pattern. But if you want to complete the 3D step look, it's a good thing I'm using a piece larger than I need. So basically, if you keep turning this, you're just not going to get the right thing. You actually have to turn it over. So the first thing you need to do is just wipe this off a little bit. If you're using a totally different color, or you're using like those metallic inks like I did on the other sample, you're definitely going to just want to wash your stencil off completely. I just wiped it off with on a rag with my stamp chamois. Okay, so this is the way it was originally. I'm just going to flip it over. All right, and what you need to do is match up the triangles or the diamonds inside until they fit in here perfectly. And you can already start to see that pattern coming to life. So just a little bit of eyeballing, and it's not going to be probably 100% perfect, and that's okay. Just get your stencil back in place. You really don't need a lot of tape. I kind of over taped. And then I'm going to use Lagoon. That's a darker shade of this blue-green to really give it dimension. And you just repeat the process. Of course, if you did this on colored paper, you would end up with like a tone on tone. If I decided to use a really light shade of teal or pool or whatever color you might have in this color family, I would start with that and then go with 2 shades darker than the paper, and you would end up with the 3 shades, which would be really cool. And again, you're going to probably want to go at different angles just to make sure that you get all your corners and crevices. And if you want to check, of course, just pull up one part, but don't release the stencil completely, and then you can pull it up and take a look and see what you have and decide if you want to do more or not. And once you've got it good to go, then you're ready to go ahead and cut it down and put it on your project. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about this fabulous Altenew stencil. If you ever have any questions, of course, you can leave comments down here in the video comments or over on my blog. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about any of the products that I'm ever using. Or if you have a request for a product that you'd like to see in a crafter's toolbox, let me know and I'd be happy to demonstrate it for you. I hope to see you again at another video, but until next time, happy crafting.